Then I'd be gone. I'd be gone to another planet doing comedy. Vampire. I'm a part vampire. I know. You gotta bleep that out. Shucking and jiving, and then all of a sudden it's like getting invited to a Christmas party, and all of a sudden somebody has a gift for you too. You're like, I just showed up as a guest. See right there. Is that good? My full name, like my government name. My name is Kristen Glenn Shaw. I've been doing comedy for like 16 years. From Indianapolis, Indiana. I think initially, the first time I was doing comedy when I was like 5, my grandmother, she gave me like a joke book, and she owned a beauty salon. So I would go and I would tell jokes to all the beauticians and all the patrons. And that's how I really started. And then like later on in life, I believe I started because I was trying to save my ass from getting kicked. Like, I don't know, I just noticed that I had this way to where I could make people laugh, and then they would, I was an introvert, so I really didn't talk to anybody, and then when I did talk to them, I felt like I would say the wrong things, but then when I was very humorous, then they would be more attracted, they would come closer to me. Somebody, a guy named Brian Holt, he told me, he's the same guy that told me about Ric Flair. I didn't know there was other kind of wrestling on TV except for WWF at the time. And then he was like, yeah, man, you sometimes it's kind of weird because you piss me off, and then I like you a whole bunch, and I can never stay mad at you. And I'll never forget when he said that, because it's one of the very thoughts that have been stuck in my head forever when I think about comedy. And then that's like that's when the seed was planted. Even though I'd done it before then, that's when I knew I had a gift. First time I got on stage, first time was at it was an airport hotel, and my best friend at the time, who's now deceased, he walked me to the stage, and it was a radio station contest, and it was to open up for Jamie Foxx tickets, or to open up for Jamie Foxx. And then the second place was tickets, which is what I got. Third place was paraphernalia, swag, and outside, my friend, he was so cheap that he didn't want to pay for these Jamie Foxx tickets. But he was like an introvert too. He never talked about doing stand-up, never wanted to. He wasn't good at public speaking. But he was so cheap that he went up there and performed so he can get these tickets to go to the Jamie Foxx show. And so he ended up taking third place in the contest. I got the tickets, I got second place. He got third place only because third, fourth, and fifth place left. And so he won by default. So he won a hat and a t-shirt. Like I watch I write a certain way on purpose. I would write to make a joke fail. And then once somebody would respond, I would fail again. And then I would have something to say. If they respond this way, then I would write something to say. If they respond that way, I would write something to say that way. I would keep going down, because normally people write taglines according to, once people laugh, then I'll say this part. And when they laugh at that, then I'll say that. I figured I can do that part anyway. But what would happen if I could write on the other side of it? What would happen if I derailed this train? How would I get out of that situation? And it's almost better because most of the people are going up this way. And I figure if I go, nobody else is going the low road, and I could do something different that way. It used to be like you paid your dues, and you had to be like an old dude before you got your big break. 20, 30 years in the game. But now it's like you could be in the game like 2 years, and I've watched it change. Like in the 16 years, it's just been like that quick. Like it's changed from in the way we communicate, we book. Everything's done online now. Before then, we had to send out VHS tapes. That was expensive. Everything was expensive. Didn't have cell phones. Everything has changed. So these younger kids, they're really good with technology. So it doesn't take a long time to do that with technology. And you could we would have to put cords in our, from the computer to the camera. Now you just take out the SD card and just slide it in there, and you could chop it up and put it on YouTube, and you become a sensation just like that. But before, there was no internet. and all you had to do, sometimes you even had to show up at clubs. There were pay phones around. I mean, I came in at the end of the era where I had to read an atlas or a map or Yahoo Maps and print out 50,000 pages of itineraries and maps just to get around. I literally was looking at reading the map and looking at the red and blue lines on there to find out how to get somewhere. It was, and then I had to move on. You had to evolve with everybody. And if you don't, then you'll just get lost in the shuffle. I don't want to do anything else. If I do, it'll be something like radio, or it'll be a manager at a comedy club. It's something related to this. I'm not leaving this. Comedy chooses you, you don't choose it. We know who's not supposed to be here. We can all see it. It's kind of like a shitty X-Man. You know what I mean? Like, definitely you're on the other side, you're not a good guy. Like the worst kind of relationship you could wish on anybody. It's like comedy won't be a side chick. Comedy demands that it's your full relationship, and then everything else is the side relationship. And it's like, it wants all the attention. It wants to be on your, it wants you to think about it all the time. It wants to be on your mind. It wants you to go lose shit for it. It wants you to say, hey, come over and see me. I got something I want to talk to you about. That's how I look at comedy. It's just something that never goes away. It's like herpes. It is. It never goes away. Like, I don't care. Even if you never, nobody ever quits comedy. You just die doing comedy, kind of like beauticians. They don't stop doing hair unless their hands like don't work anymore. And comedians, like Joan Rivers, I mean, it had to be a surgery or something to kill her. But other than that, she was doing it to the end, and most comedians do. Comedy's my woman. She won't let me have anything else or anybody else, a car or anything. After a while, comedy's like, you know what? I'm not going to run your credit cards up. Yes, I am going to run your credit cards up and the miles in your car. Comedy wants to drain you of everything just to let you know that she loves you. And you love her back. And that's just all what it is. No matter if you're a female or male, you love comedy to death. And when you close your eyes, you think about her. And it's just like that. And you accept it. And I think if it's more or less therapy for everybody. We give therapy to them and they give therapy to us.